Hey, this will be kind of a an update to this guy. If you remember him, the character select, where we can do this and hit start and we go to another scene. And to upgrade this, I'm actually going to turn that stuff off, and I'm going to create an empty. And I'm going to take these two, stick them here, and I'm actually just going to take him away for now. But this will allow me now to turn that on and off. So the other thing I can do is what if we created a slot system. Okay, let's get this kind of set up a little better. So if that's slot 1, that's slot 2, and we'll say slot 3. So now what we need to do is let's make some sort of master script. So on start, we wish to get where is player prefs? If you have easy save, this is probably a little easier, but okay. So slot 1 name. And if true, get name 1. And then I'm going to drag that over here. So key is that same key. And I'm going to finish, and I'm actually just going to copy this, paste and paste, and just kind of link them in like that. And then this guy can get slot 2 name, slot 3 I'm going to get rid of those. We don't need those. I've already used them. So now we're going to try to get 3 saved names. So if this is false, if there is no name, we'll skip and try this one. And if this is false, then we'll skip and try this one. And if this one's false, then this is obviously some sort of fresh name or fresh game. Alright, so the other thing I want is, okay, we have slots, and we have slot 1 name text, slot 2 name text, slot 3 name text. Okay. So the other thing I want to do is, what else? So if this one's true, then we want to UI text set text of slot 1 name text to name 1. I'm just going to copy that, and this one's going to be of slot 2 to name 2, and slot 3 to name 3. Okay, so the other thing is, if I'm going to need an event on the skip. Oh, I'm just going to copy this over, and instead of the name, we will use available. Copy and paste, and this guy will be for slot 2, and paste, this will be for slot 3. Okay, and when he's done, he needs to go there too. So once we do that, then we can activate the slots. And once these slots are activated, let's make these all let's just make them buttons. Okay. Yeah, so now we can UI button array, and we have 3 buttons. We have this guy, and this guy, and this guy. So we have the first one, the second one, the third one. So if we go here, then we've chosen slot 1. So let's, I wonder if I should just do a bool for that. Yeah, okay. Well, no. String compare. Okay, so if name 1 is this, then it's a new game. If it's not equal, then we have continued. new game and continue. And we're going to just copy that and paste and paste. And let's add choose 2 and choose 3. And this one's going to be on name 2 and this one's going to be on name 3. So if we have hit these buttons, we want this guy to be active if there's something there. Right? So if this is a continue, let's make a variable for him. Activate game object. Oh, it was there. I'm just blind apparently. And if it's not there, then we want to activate him. So activate two things. We wish to have him active and him not active. And we should probably put another button here. And I'll just move him sideways a bit. Call him back. And let's deactivate him. Nope. Deactivate the button. I'll rename him so we know. Alright. And let's copy and paste. We need a variable for our back, oh, not that guy, the back button. So now the back button needs to be active. And I'm going to put this guy up here, put him before, make sure he's unactive at the start. And we're going to have to add some more stuff into there. And, well, let's drag all these and just do the same thing for now. So technically, if we hit start, we'll see that these are just show available. There's nothing there. We don't have our character select, but we have 3 slots available. If I click that, we're going to go into our character selector, to which then we can do things. And if we go back, it's going to take us backwards. Okay. So this is a new game. So okay, we're here. Let's get UI button on click. Let's use the back. So if back is clicked on, let's go back up here And while we're up here, let's deactivate the slots and the character selector. Alright, so the other thing that we'll need to turn on is these two. So let's make variables for them, the selector and the pivot. And that's the pivot and the selector. And of course, if we go back, let's make sure those are off. Alright, so now we should have something that looks a little more like we have this. We can choose our characters, and we can go back and go into a different slot. Okay, so far so good. So the other thing we want is, under our character selector, is let's put in a input field. And I'm going to give this guy a text, so he's displayed on what he is. Like that. And he will be, let's deactivate him. Alright, so now, oh man, I'm in play mode. Oh, such a pain. Such a pain. I got the input field again deactivated, and I'm going to put the name to it again. I'm just going to go up a little bit. Let's make sure that looks okay. Alright, so variables. So now we have an input field for the name. So if this is a new game, we also want this thing active. Alright, so I think I'm just going to stick it up here. Is right here, we are going to make an event that is, we'll just call it name, I guess. So let's get text. All right, so that'll be of him. going to do is on this guy, on value change, I'm going to send an event called name. And that should allow us to get a name. Alright, like if I go here, and as I type, nope. So, okay, well let's move that up. So this thing, using this, it sends an event to here, and it can't differentiate on FSM. So when it hits an FSM and it sends an event, pretty much all FSMs will take it, whether it can use it or not. It'll take it, which makes this guy happy. But with this one taking it, it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't do anything, which is why I moved the other one to the top. So if I now go like that, I go vars, and that's still not working. Make sure I'll just reset that again. Set event name. Watch this thing make a liar out of me now. So vars, let's stick that up. Let's go here. There we go. So and as you can see up here, the name's coming in. Okay. So let's go with one called submit. And I'm just going to come back down to here and on and edit. Submit. So the idea of that now is when we get a slot, we go over, we hit a bunch of things, and we have our name coming up, and it can be modified, it can do whatever it wants, and if we hit enter, it's gone over to our submit. So we kind of take that for what we want it to be. So there is that portion. So ideally, where are we here? If we are here, actually, you know what? I'm going to take this index. Slot index, because that should give us, well, 0, 1, 2, 3. Right, if I go here, I should get 2. Yeah, it's bottom one, 0, 0, 1, 2. So if we get a submit, we want to get FSM int of our owner, of the master, of the slot index. We now know what slot we're in. We want to build string, and if you remember back over here, we are looking for this guy, right? Slot 1 name. Only we're going to have to change those because we're not going to have a slot 3 name. So that needs to be actually 0, and this one needs to be 1, and this one needs to be 2. Alright, So again, these ones have to change then. So 0, 1, and 2. And there we go. So here, if we submit, if we're going to build a string, we want, Christ, I already forgot what the hell it's called, slot, and then the number, and then the name, both with capitals. So we want slot, the index converted, and then name. Separator is going to be nothing, and store as that. Now this has to be above there, obviously. So we're going to do that, and then we are going to player prefs set string, and we are going to set the key, the current name key, to the name, or the name to the current name key, I guess you should say. Alright, so now we go here, and I can say broken, hit enter, and now what if I hit back? Ba-doop. Look, I got broken there now. If I go here, oh, we'll have to clear that. Some other name. Hit enter, go back. It doesn't fully fill because we didn't do that, but if I go here and back, see, now we have where this is now a continue, right? So we got to build logic, but it's saved in player prefs now. It's there in between plays. Okay. So let's up here input field set text, move that to the top, and we want, do we have the input here? Player name input to nothing. There, and that will give us, right, so if I go over here, it's that. Okay, well actually I'm going to have to delete player prefs here briefly. What is this? Oh, okay. Some random script I made for another tutorial. So player prefs, so I'm going to use that. Just going to disable this one for a second. Okay, now I'm going to disable that one because we don't want to keep doing that over and over. So I just wiped out the player prefs. Everything's available again. So if I hit a name, go back, it's there. If I go in here, it's now clear. I can hit this name, go back, it's there. Okay. So now we have this name kind of filled. So the other thing we're going to want is we have this next and this previous. Let's add a slider. I'll say up here, somewhere around there. Let's give that a text and call it, I don't know, we'll say size. I don't have a whole lot in the ways variable things that we can change, so this will have to work. So there, now we have size. And he can be 0 to 1, that's fine. I'm going to turn him off. And I'm going to go into the master, and if it is a new game, want him to be active. And of course, when we're back up here, we want him to be deactivated. Alright, now I'm going to put this logic right here on this one, so it's just nice and simple here. So on value change. Now you could use this, or actually, you know what, I'll just show you the other way of doing that. Actually, no, we don't even need another FSM. I'm getting too crazy here. Let's just do here. Okay, so let's do size. Actually, yeah, we can just put them right here. So slider on get value changed event, or on value changed event. So the slider in question is this guy. Changed and size value. What is it changing to? So what I want this to do is I want to remap this value we have, size value. So it's coming from a 0 to a 1 here. 0 to 1, 0 to 1. But what I want it to actually mean is, we'll say 0.7 to a 1.3. And that's going to be set size. Doesn't need to be every frame. And it can just go back over here when it's done. So now we're going to get this weird, or not this weird, but we're going to get this value. So this guy, we have this trigger. So in the pivot, we have this object. And we don't want him to be there anymore. So we want current, okay, the selector does what? Current selected object. Current selected object, that guy there. So here, under this guy, we are going to get FSM game object of the pivot FSM current selected object current unit and set scale of current unit to set size. I'm going to use all three so it's everything's going proper. And then when it rotates, when this thing actually moves, this guy, right? So can turn, he does his thing, comes over, the interplate, we set rotation, and we sit back here. So when we're here, when we're in this state, what I want to do is get scale and is this the one with the current selected object? current selected. What is current selected? Yeah, it's the same thing as that. Okay, good. So yeah, so we're going to get the current selected, which means we need this. So paste this before. We're going to get this one up here. And we're going to get whatever it is. We're going to get that scale, and we really don't need, because all three are going to be the same. And I'm going to get that scale, and I want to remap. But now we're actually going to go in the opposite direction. So we're going to get that scale, and we're going to go from a 0.7 to a 1.3, but now it's going to a 0 to a 1. And we're going to set the slider not every frame, and then UI slider set value. Stick them there. Remember, the order of these things is very important. And he is going to be set slider. Alright, so that's going to allow us to say go here, and I can now scale my character. If I move, I get this guy's scale, and I can move him back and forth. Now if I come back over here and adjust, alright, but that's kind of what that's doing. Let's see what we're doing for time. That's just about as long as we want to go. So what else do we want to do? When we hit, we should almost have a confirm button. I guess back works as well, though. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. We'll do that in the next video. I'll have to think about it and see if we want a back button or a confirm button or both. And then, so we'll adjust scale, we'll set name, choose the character, we have the slots. Then if we selected a slot that has a character, we want to pull the save data and reload more or less this thing, only not with the size or the name or the three that you haven't chose, just your character standing here, because that'll be the saved character. So we want to put him in the middle, like so. This, you know, if you choose a character, when we click on that, we want to see that character, and when we see that character, we hit this button, then we'll load into the game. That's kind of the plan. So maybe we'll do that in the next video, but I think that's a fair bit for this video. So we'll talk to you in the next one. See you later.